Good morning, Longhorn Nation. Welcome to the Tommy Watson Show. This is Doug Dershimer, your host. Tommy Watson Show is sponsored by Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. And as always, I'm joined by Coach Watson here in the Sports Lab at Lambert High School. Coach Watson, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for being here and doing the show with me, just like every week. Excited to be here for sure.
Coach, what a night last night at Central High School for Forsyth Central. Longhorns 35, Forsyth Central Bulldogs 3. Phenomenal show last night, Coach. You had them ready to go. They came out of the gate immediately and made a statement quickly.
Yeah, the word of the week this week for our football program was consistent. We've under my 2 years of being the head coach at Lambert, we come out in the region and we'll play. I said this last week. We'll play one game like Boo Boo the Clown, and the next week we'd play, an outstanding game, then back down to Boo Boo and back up. And so we went in last week and started on Sunday and just challenged the kids. Like, hey man, come on, let's be us. Let's be you. We don't need you to be great. We just need you to come out and be you and be consistent. And kids did a great job last night.
Sure did, Coach. What a great end of the weekend for the Longhorn Nation. Coach, on Thursday night, our ninth grade team capped off an undefeated season with a 35-7 victory over West Forsyth at the Horn to win our first ninth grade county championship since 2017. The last 5 games of the season, Coach, the ninth grade defense allowed only 3 touchdowns. As you know, defense wins championships. What a phenomenal Thursday night at the Horn.
Yeah, it was a big night for our program. And defense does win championships. That's painted in our locker room, and we firmly believe in that. But, our ninth grade team played West early in the year, first game of the year, matter of fact, and it was a 1-point game. Mm-hmm. And, we felt like we didn't play really good on defense that night. But, man, the ninth grade staff and the kids, what a job, man, to go undefeated in this region. It's a great group of kids led by a great group of men, and they played well, played outstanding. But, so to try to make the atmosphere a little bit bigger, man, I took myself and the guys that kind of coached the JV team on game day, set up some tents and got some barbecue smoke going and got a good atmosphere going. And we had the whole varsity team now, I think, except for 3 kids, I think. And we grilled hot dogs and hamburgers and those, man, when I looked over there at that sideline and all of those 75, 80 varsity kids was over there pulling for those ninth graders, man, that's what a program's about.
So one Lambert team, Coach, we talk about, and, I looked at that. I was there on Thursday night as well. The stands were pretty packed for a freshman game. There were a lot of parents there, a lot of students there. Coach, there were volleyball players there. There were softball players there. You fed a couple of them at halftime there. They enjoyed that. What an atmosphere for a ninth grade game, and it was just capped off, and we took it to them pretty good.
Yeah, we did. We played well, and it was. That was my mantra of one Lambert in full effect, and so excited about the progress we're in right now and where the program's at, and everybody's just all in. But I'll tell you this now, that ninth grade group is going to win a lot of games at Lambert High School, Coach. I promise.
They really had a great season. Coach, speaking of that, a successful sub-varsity season for us both in the JV and the ninth grade, we combined for a 12-1-1 record. Coach, coaching high school football in the state of Georgia has many programs, but the focus usually, Coach, is on Friday nights. And Thursday nights sometimes take a backseat. In your second year at Lambert, Thursday nights look a lot different around here. As a head coach, what does that mean for your football program?
I think it's vital. I think that, you even dip all the way down into the middle school. I think that's the pipeline for winning on Friday nights. And they got to learn to win. At that age, 8th, 9th, 10th grade, they got to learn to win. They got to believe they can win. And, we sell out to those kids. I split. So kind of the way I do it is I send my offensive coordinator and my defensive coordinator with the ninth grade coaching staff to run those game day operations and tough calls and whatnot. And then myself and the rest of the coaches go with the JV team, man. And we put a big emphasis on it. We want to win at every level. Those kids practice. They do everything that the varsity kids, so it needs to be just as important. If you look at our coaches, we dress alike on the sideline, and it's a first-class operation. It's no different to me. And We had a heck of a year this year. You said it. We went 12-1-1, and to be honest, if I wasn't so that blame hard-headed, we probably would have been 14-0.
14-0, Coach, yeah.
But super proud of our sub-varsity teams and our coaches. Man, I'm telling you, the future is bright at Lambert High School.
No question, coaches. We keep talking about it. It's the building of the culture. It's the building of the program, the things you guys have tried to bring and emphasize. And so congratulations on a great sub-varsity season. Coach, after the Thursday night's ninth grade championship, last night, again, we go up to Central, and we win 35-3. What a great week. It's been a great week for the Longhorns program across actually all sports, Coach.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, you look at our softball team, they're headed to the Elite Eight.
Columbus,
and Coach Youngblood has done a phenomenal job.
Yes.
I mean, I have a good relationship with him as he's my son's golf coach, and just super proud. I think they've won, 25
in a row.
That's unbelievable. Awesome
Who would
job.
want to play them?
Yeah, for sure. Look at our girls volleyball team. Coach Hall, she's got them. They played in the semis last year. She's got them back in the Sweet 16 this year. Won the region, and they actually play Parkview today at Lambert at 11 a.m.
Uh-huh.
So they need a good crowd there supporting them. And as always, the competition cheerleading team is incredible.
They are.
And then I listened to the sports lab that we did this week. Coach Ferreira.
Well, Coach, thanks for listening.
Oh man, yeah, shoot, I got to support the people that supports me. But Coach Ferreira said himself, he's really excited about our fall sports, and I agree. Coach Ferreira, Dr. D, the admin, man, they want to win in everything. They want to have the best SAT, ACT scores. They want to have the highest graduation rates. They want everything to be first class, and that's why I am so excited to be the head football coach at Lambert.
Coach, we keep talking about the one Lambert, and of course Lambert won last night. You mentioned last week on the show this Forsyth County team, Coach, would be Forsyth Central, would be tough, hard to play. They're well coached. We came out early, Coach, and in 2 plays we took it in. And after James connected with Brandon on a 45-yard big play, we score in the next play, go up 7-0 early in the game. That was the only score in the first quarter, but Coach, what a way to come out 2 plays and we're up 7-0.
Yeah, Brandon is he's a kid that can run really good for our football team. He had a very good sophomore year and hadn't got him a whole lot of touches this year. So the last couple of weeks we've kind of tried to get him the ball a little bit more. Man, he played well last night. But the first play was something we used Kojo a lot on that jet sweep and even faking the jet sweep and hand it to the running back. And last night we just decided we was going to take a shot right out of the gate and try to get something good to happen, being on the road. And, man, it worked out. I like it when you draw them up and they work out for sure.
It worked out, Coach, and there was a lot of number 2 to number 4 last night for 6 points. They connected on 3 touchdown plays, James to Brandon, and lit it up.
They did, man. O-line played well, protected James, and James threw the ball well. Brandon made some great catches along the way. Just a great job out of everybody involved. We got some weapons, and you don't know who's going to get the football, so you better be ready to defend them all.
Coach, passing plays are important, but as an offensive lineman yourself, talk about your offensive line this year and the protection they provided our team and to do what they do. They don't get a lot of love. Those big uglies up there don't get a lot of love, but they deserve a lot.
Yeah, it's I would say, and this is not degrading or talking bad about anybody by no means, but when I first got here, I was kind of awestruck, if you will, of how bad the offensive line was. Mm-hmm. And when I say that, I mean in developmental, in the weight room, nutrition, fundamentally on the field, and our offensive line coach has done a phenomenal job. Jacob Bolden, he's been at, he was a Charlton County high school football player where football was very important. Mm-hmm. He coached at Buford for a little while, and man, when I got the job, one of my best friends is the offensive coordinator at Buford, and he called me up as soon as I got the job and said, man, you need to hire this guy. And so I took a chance on him, and I tell you what, now, sometimes his job ain't easy dealing with me as an old offensive lineman and an offensive line coach, but he does a good job. Man, it is not fun probably to play offensive line at Lambert except for Friday night. I guarantee you that the games are easier than practice, but, man, those guys have come a long way since we first took this job for sure.
Coach, if anybody would go to practice, they would understand who the offensive line coach is right away.
Well,
which is why it's a little easier on Friday night than it is on Monday through Thursday, because he flat out gets after it.
but I think that's how offensive line's got to be done.
Absolutely.
I played it, I coached it, and to me, the offensive line is the most important position on the football field, hands down.
No doubt. Got a block. Coach, 14-3 at the halftime. Central was a little stingy there in the second quarter, but they kept it close. We circled the wagons, Coach, in the second half, came out immediately on our first drive again, put it up, and just went on from there, scored 21 points in the third quarter, really just took control of the game, and offense was really playing well.
Yeah, the second quarter, the first quarter, second quarter, they come out and did some things on offense that we had not seen, and it took us a little bit to adjust to it. I mean, they was doing what I kind of call nickel and diming. They was 3 yards here, 2 yards here. All of a sudden it's 4th and 1 and 2, and they go for it. And they converted a couple of them. To me, and I don't know if this was their game plan or not, but it was almost like, to me, they was trying to play keep away to keep the ball out of our offense's hand, and they did a good job of it.
The first half, they did not a bad job of that.
They did a good job of it, and we made some adjustments on defense, headed into the second quarter, finishing up the second quarter, and offensively we went in at halftime and said, hey, we're gonna try to air it out a little bit, spread the field out a little bit and play in some different packages and see what happens, and it worked out good for us.
Coach, at the end of the game, the final score was 35-3. The Longhorns on a big victory. And Coach, looks like to me, just as a observer on the sidelines, we're playing our best football right now. The last 2 games with the offense and defense have played well, and what a time to play our best football.
Yeah, I was very, very worried of having a letdown trap game, if you will, and again, we talked about that word consistency early in the show, and it's like I told the kids yesterday during walkthrough before we got dressed and loaded up the bus, man. Central's like a wounded animal. They're beat up, they're hurt, and they got 2 choices. They come out swinging or they lay down, and I knew they wasn't going to lay down. That's not in them kids, and sure enough, they come out. But and I told the kids, when they come out and they give you the best shot they got and you don't flinch, they're going to say, uh-oh. And our kids come out, man, and they answered the bell, and they was ready to go at 7:30, and the rest is history. So I'm just proud of the kids and the coaches for playing 2 weeks in a row, and going on the road and winning a region game. I don't know the last time, and I don't know a lot of the stuff here, but I don't know the last time that Lambert's won back-to-back region football games.
Coach, it's been a long time. I probably should know that, but I don't off the top of my head. But I would say it's probably at least 5 years ago. But with a 35-3 final, Coach, we go 7-2 on the year and 3-2 in region. Coach, I do know this. It's been since 2015 that we won 7 regular season football games, and it's a long time, Coach. And we just it's what you've been talking about, what you've been preaching, the building the culture, building the program, the One Lambert, and we're heading in the right direction.
Yes, sir, we are. We're just grateful for the opportunity to be here, me and my family, and just so thankful that the community's all in, the admin's all in, the students all in, the players all in. We're just blessed that we took over this program and that everybody picked up the vision and took off running with it.
That's the Lambert way. And, Coach, when you take over a program that's had some success, then hits a little tough, rough patch. We had a couple bumps and bruises there in the way. And you're looking to turn a program around. You start seeing the turnaround. People start talking about the census. We've already talked about a couple of those today and in previous shows. It's been X amount of days since it's been so long since we did this. Coach, last year we go to Central. We beat them 43-42. It was our first region win since 2017. This year we won at Gainesville at home. It's our first region win since 2016, which was also, Coach, the last year the Longhorns made the playoffs. Coach, with one more regular season game remaining, we are in the playoff hunt, baby. Yeah, we are. That was the goal coming in, was to get this football team to the playoffs, get this football program to the playoffs, and it's right there before us. I'm not that smart, except for when it comes to football and probably counting money.
But so I for one am not going to try to figure out who's where, where we stand, what's got to happen. To me, that's irrelevant. My focus is when the sun comes up Sunday morning, is going to be to find a way to get these players to play the best they've played all year against the opponent this coming week.
Coach, your region standings right now as we sit after last night's games, Denmark is on top at 4-0. Coach, they've won a lot of close games this year, and sitting on the top, they beat South last night 17-14. Some people may have thought that was a little surprise, but they played well. South's in second place at 3-1 in the region, and they lost to Denmark last night. Lambert sits at 3-2. West is at 2-2 after a victory over Gainesville last night, 40-7. North Forsyth did not play last week, and I believe has South coming up this week. Gainesville fell to 1-3 after they lost to West 40-7, and Central sits at 0-5 after they lost to us last night 35-3. Coach, we're in a good spot. I know those playoff scenarios. I'm not going to talk about them, but I like our position.
Yeah, I do too. Very competitive region. Again, a guy that has spent the majority of his career below what I call the gnat line.
Yeah.
Down there in Middle Georgia, down in South Georgia, had no idea about the caliber of players, the caliber of coaching in this region. But, man, I'll tell you what, it is very impressive, the coaching and the players in this region. I heard yesterday, my special teams coordinator, Coach Steve Holly, who was at Lowndes, 19 years, I think. I heard him tell somebody on the phone yesterday that they would be very surprised at the caliber of players in this region. So, you just got to show up and play every week, and it's hard. It's a lot of people there's two things that every man thinks he can do. Number one is grill, and number two is coach football.
Yeah.
And so the average fan thinks it's easy, but I'm telling you right now, it is not easy in the college level, the pro level, down to the high school level, to get a football team to show up and play their best week in and week out. And that's difficult because in this region, that's what you got to get them to do. And if you do, you got a good recipe to win. If not, you're going to be in dogfight every week.
Coach, speaking of that, I've been around a long time, and the region, we have a lot of teams in the region that have been here for a while, some of them are new, but the region hasn't always played the caliber of football that the region is playing right now. And so it makes it tougher because everybody gets better. And we've gotten better as well. But football up here in this region certainly has improved. It's being competitive. And this region is very competitive, actually. As we talked, I think every team right now still has a chance except for one, which makes it tough. It makes it very interesting. Coach, and I was at practice this past week, like I usually do, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to get out there with you guys as you guys were preparing for Central. Saw Sam Crenshaw from good old GPB was there, soaking up some Tommy Watson football. And, Coach, I read an article in the paper about the physicality of Lambert and how we were trending in the right direction. And I know, Coach, that's truly been one of the efforts and the emphasis that you guys have placed on this football program. There's a reason we're 7-2. So the question, Coach, is how have you implemented such a physical culture so quickly and actually so effectively?
It's buy-in from the kids. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. When we got here, we inherited a roster that had 55 players on it, if I'm not mistaken, and in the program right now, currently we got like 126 or 127 kids in it, and so we doubled the roster. The kids bought in, and then I reference this man all the time, Randy McPherson. He's like a father figure to me. And he taught me that. If you go in our locker room, you're going to see all kind of quotes on the walls, and they painted on the doors and the walls, and in big letters. This one's painted 2 or 3 times, and they're hitting breeds hitting.
Mm-hmm.
We got one in there that says all living creatures respect pain. Mm-hmm. We got one that says one lick or change the game. We got the Mike Tyson quote in painted on the locker room wall that says, everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. And so everything we do from coach material in the weight room
absolutely
is physical. You know, we put a bar in the hand, and we make them strain, and we make them fight and growl and hurt, and then we go out and practice. We don't practice long, but when we practice, I mean, we're not taking our first offense and going against our JV defense. If you ain't on the first offense, your behind gets over there and plays defense. So a lot of times when we go team offense, we're going against Elijah Howell, Finn Brower, Jack Rackett, Dawson Miller, Drake, and then you flip it over when we go team defense, it's the same thing. Our defense is going against our first O-line. So they've embraced it, man. They love it. And when you watch us play, and that's how we gonna play.
Coach, there's no doubt, and I've had the privilege, and I've been afforded the privilege around here, which I'm very grateful for, to attend a lot of practices from different sports, and because to me, as a former player and a little coach, that's where you figure out what your team's like.
That's right. But another thing that I didn't say, man, is I truly, truly believe that those kids know that myself and the other coaches love them.
There's no doubt, Coach.
Just like they're our own children. But going back to Crenshaw now, he was out there and he walked up to me. He'd been down there watching our O-line and D-line up under our chicken coop, and he's out of his own mouth. He said, Coach, I see why y'all are physical, based on the way that group right there is practicing. And I think the clock had 3 minutes on it before we went and started the inside drill. I said, you stand right there for about 3 more minutes, you're going to really see. And we got to do an inside drill, and we didn't have the best inside drill practice Monday and Tuesday. We was going to go get out them a little bit. And when that period was over with, Crenshaw said, Coach, that's impressive. And so it was good to get that. But, man, that's who I am. And that's who we're going to be about as long as I'm here.
And, Coach, that's what you got to be about. But it's back to work on Sunday, Coach. You guys will start game planning on Sunday. We go to West Friday night for our final game of the season. Any concerns, Coach, about distractions as you prepare for West this week?
Not one bit.
I wouldn't think so.
No, these coaches they want to win. These players want to win. Got a group of seniors that is hungry, and I assure you there won't be any distractions this week.
Coach, West and Lambert look a lot alike in a whole lot of ways. Got the same building layout, both head coaches in their second seasons, I believe. Both teams with some marquee players. And, Coach, you can't go to West without mentioning Oscar Delp. He is a weapon beyond measure, committed to Georgia, I guess, last week. And I know we'll have a plan for him, but he's a heck of a football player. Yeah,
there's no doubt. He's one of the premier tight ends in the United States of America. He is probably as good as high school tight end as I've ever seen. I think the kid, if he stays healthy, I think the kid will have a really good chance to play on Sunday. He'll block, and he's a really good pass catcher, route runner. So he's phenomenal. But, we got a few weapons of our own,
we
too.
Do.
So we're looking forward to it. It ought to be a really good football game.
Longhorn Nation, we're going to need your support on Friday night over at West. It's a very, very important football game for the season and for our program, and we just need you there. So look forward to seeing you there. Coach, congratulations again on the victory on the start, 7-2 overall, 3-2 in the region. It's exciting times around here at Lambert High School, and we're just thankful where we are.
Thank you very much. Wake up and go to sleep.
Absolutely. Well, this is Doug Dershimer for Coach Watson. We appreciate you joining us. We'll see you Friday night at West High School.